Right, perfect. Welcome back to Sister Soul Sessions, where we are elevating entrepreneurs one soulful conversation at a time.
And today we have a powerful conversation lined up for anyone building something from the ground up.
Yes, we are joined by Chérie, the founder of Trevit, the brand behind a sleek, modern smartwatch built for everyday people.
So she's building a tech product business from scratch and doing it pretty much bootstrap, 10 toes down.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Chérie, welcome to Sister Soul Sessions. It's such a pleasure to have you. If you wouldn't mind taking just a few moments to introduce yourself for us.
Of course. Thank you both for having me. It's a pleasure to be on here. Thank you for the time.
Of
I'm
course.
Shivli, and I am the founder and owner of Trevit, as you said. I started this back in 2024, where the idea came in 2024, and this is something that has been running since early 2025. I'm just really happy to be able to provide people the opportunity to get health tech at an affordable price because it's outrageous out there.
Yes.
And yeah, so with the story with my mom and the reason why I started is pretty much the reason why I decided to bring this forward. So yeah, I will let you know I do pretty terribly when it comes to speaking about myself.
You're fine. I am too. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. That's why we have these opportunities so we can make sure that we do get, your business out there, but also who you are. Because a lot of times our brands are the people behind them. So no problem at all. Take your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so then who is Shuri beyond Trevit? Can you give us a little bit more about yourself?
Of course. Beyond Trevit, I do quite a number of things. I'm a web developer. I also own a web optimization business as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I am a let's see, I say I'm pretty spontaneous when it comes to life. I do things on the fly sometimes. I'm a planner as well, but a lot
Yeah.
of the time, whatever I feel like doing in the moment. I am one of three kids, and I have a very supportive family, I would say. So, if not for them, I wouldn't be here. I have a, a wonderful family that supports me, so I'm very happy about that. What else would I say? A lot of the time I am working. I really do enjoy the work that I do, both in web development and running Trevit. So I do that most of the time. It's not something that I think of as work. It's fun for
Right.
me, exactly, which I think is great work-life balance, right? I really enjoy what I do. And on the other hand, I also tutor math. I've been tutoring math since I was in middle school or so. And it's just something that I love doing. It's something that I do a lot on the side just because I think it's fun.
I
Mhm.
Um,
love that.
yeah, that's pretty basic. That's pretty much all I have about me right now.
Yeah.
It's usually just work for me. It's work and hanging out with family, taking the time to myself, and it's just repetitive daily. So that's just me.
As it is for most of us.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you've always had the brain, especially since you've been a math tutor since middle school. That's not a claim to fame I have whatsoever. So you've always had the brains. Have you always had the entrepreneurial mindset? Or like you said, was it your mom that sparked this for you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I've always been entrepreneurial. As far as I know, I had my first ever job when I was 15 working for another entrepreneur. And then I came over here to Canada to school. And then after that, I got my first in person job. I don't think I've ever told anybody this before. This is the first time, but I did work at Walmart, was my first ever job. And I was like, yay, I finally get a job. After just moving to a new country, I get a job.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And a month in, I was like, you know what? Something doesn't feel right.
It's horrible. Yeah.
Horrible. I mean, I love customer service. Like customer service is my life from the start. So it
Yeah.
wasn't that it was horrible, not at all, but
Hmm.
something felt off. It just like
Ooh.
it felt more like I'm supposed to be starting something, not working for people. And the thing
Yeah.
is that it has always been that way for me. I enjoy working with people.
Mhm.
I've received a lot of praise, I've received a lot of encouragement, I've received like rewards at work. And even with all of that and people telling me I'm great at this and that, I'm like, something is still missing. I just
Yeah.
felt I felt empty. I don't know how to explain. I felt very on unfulfilled. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? And so I thought, you know what? Maybe I should look into working for other business owners as a business owner myself. And I started my own virtual assistants business at the age of 17. And I did that
Oh,
until
Okay.
2023 ish, I think. So I practically worked for myself for a good 6, 7 years since I was 17. And it has just been that way since. So it's one thing after another. And I would think of something, do something a bit, continue with my virtual assistants. And
Mm.
the website optimization business came up in 2024. And that was 2023, 2024, I think 2023. And yeah, I've always been in the entrepreneur space. That has just been me. Everything
that's
else,
amazing. Such a young age. So I know you said that you moved to Canada. Where were you before?
I'm Nigerian.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
something.
so big jump. Big
Yeah,
jump
it
to
was,
Canada.
yeah, not so, it wasn't much so a cultural, difference for me. Things
Mhm.
felt normal.
Mhm.
But yes, it was a big step because I did come with my mom. My whole family's here now, but it
Oh,
was just my mom
perfect.
and I who came to school. Like school was what was on our mind. My mom was a physician, but coming to a new country, you're starting from the ground up. So she's a
Yeah.
physician,
Yeah.
exactly, who has worked as the head of the department in the hospital for many years, and she came here to start at Walmart, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it has just been a journey for us, especially the whole move. And I'm just glad now that we have gotten to a space and a time where we are able to give back to those who were in the same position as we were.
For sure. And what's inspired you specifically to enter the tech space?
Well, I've always been a techie. Computer science, I went to school for. I'm a web developer. So it didn't feel off to me. It just felt right. As a web developer and website optimization specialist as well, it just fell in the right line. And I think with Trevit, the story with my mom and the smartwatch is basically just what started this whole thing.
Mhm.
And I didn't think twice about it. It just clicked.
Right.
And so then, why a smartwatch? Like, what gap did you see in the market where you said, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and create my own smartwatch?
Well, it started with us finding out that things were expensive. Smartwatches in particular were expensive. So at
Mhm.
this time here, it was already a few years after we had moved to Canada. This was in 2020. My mom had come home, so she was schooling during the day. She would school up until I don't remember what time, maybe like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. She would come back, go to work at night, and then come back in the middle of the night. So for her, it was just ongoing and
Wow.
ongoing. And it was one of the hardest times in her life. She was thinking maybe this wasn't the right thing to do. Maybe God didn't want me to come here. Did I take the wrong step
Mm,
because we're struggling so much?
Mhm.
And everybody was just like, what is going on? What do we do right now? And at this
Mhm.
point in time, she is the kind of person who would take care of everybody else.
yeah.
And she would put everybody else first before herself. And at this point in time, she just said she wanted a smartwatch. It was just something that had just come up like, you know what, I think I would just really like a smartwatch because she was also trying to be health conscious, right?
Mhm.
And we were like, okay, let's look into it. And we looked at the prices and we were like, you know what, let's hold that
Great.
thought.
Yeah.
Especially as an international student with the amount of money that we were paying,
Mm,
we just could not afford it. We could not. And she had accepted that she may not get that smartwatch ever until one day she came back from work. I think I also put that picture on my website. She came back from work and I had taken a picture of her randomly, and we got a box in the mail, a massive box. And we're like, who sent us something? Where did this box come from? And we found out it was my uncle in the US. And one of the things in
Aw.
that box was a smartwatch. I
wow.
was so happy. And
How beautiful.
this woman was so excited. I've not seen her that. She was like, she finally got a smartwatch. And just seeing her in that moment, I was like, the fact that she wanted one and the prices there were so exorbitant, and we couldn't find, at least there was nothing else on the market that she wanted at the time.
Mhm.
I began to think, you know what, there's something missing here. And this was back in 2020. So
Mhm.
2024 was when I came up with the idea to start Trevit, right? I wanted to start, I've already run a couple of other e-commerce businesses in the past, but it was just like seasonal things. So I was
Mhm.
thinking of starting something else. And I was looking back at those pictures I took on the day that the gifts came, and just seeing her happy. And so I began to do some research of my for myself, and I realized that there is a gap. Now we have affordable smartwatches, we do, but these are also by bigger companies who could care less about the person themselves,
Exactly.
right? So they see you as a revenue stream. And I'm like, okay, if I do have questions about the watch, or if I actually wanted to know if it fit my lifestyle, you're looking
Mhm.
at communicating with a bigger company who could really care less. They just want you to buy. So
Yep.
most
You have one or two choices. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go through that and then just be pushed into buying that, or you are with a bigger company that is a lot more expensive. So there's this gap, affordability, and also those who don't really take you seriously. So it's a spectrum. You have the extremely cheap smartwatches that really do not hold up, like their
Mhm.
features are lacking a lot. You have those that are affordable but really do not care about you. And then you have the bigger brands that are extremely expensive and do not care about you. So it's like, especially for
Or
somebody who was in that mindset that my mom was, she wanted somebody to care for her in that time. It's a
Mm,
smartwatch, it's a gadget, yes, but it meant more than that. It meant that she
yeah.
was being cared for. It was something that she wanted. And so that's what gave
Mm.
me the idea. Like, why don't I bring something affordable and also make sure that I am being personal with each buyer?
Yeah.
So for that reason, I made it
Mm.
my mission to get in contact with every single person who has made a purchase. And not just that, I made my lines open to everybody to ask me questions to make sure it is for them.
Wow.
And if you do come to me to ask me questions about the watch and see if it's for you or not, and I feel that it's not, like if I do think that you need something else, I would let you know. Oh, go to this brand instead. I feel that they have a smartwatch that is
What you're
better.
looking for. Yeah.
Exactly. Better suited
Yeah.
to you, right? And you won't find many businesses that do that. They would either have you buy their watch,
Mhm.
or they just really do not care. And you are there waiting and like, okay, do these people really want me to be a customer, or what is going on? And I've also worked for bigger corporations before. And like I said, looking in, they just see people as numbers. And that pissed me off. That
Well, that's
pissed me
beautiful. Yeah. No. And I love that you were actually engulfed in the market so much that you can actually see those holes and
Mhm.
what we were missing as consumers, because now that's all that it is, right? You're online, you're seeing commercials. You can't even like watch regular, streaming services without now a little QR code for you to buy something. So like you
exactly.
said, the care and the personalization is not there. So I love that you really saw that from your mom's experience on what did she actually need, and not have to spend $500 to $1,000 for things that she's not even going to use. Like most of my
Exactly.
smartwatch, I never, you don't even have it. I don't even have it on now, and I've had two of them, so I completely understand that we are just purchasing because we are consumers at this point, and not really the need.
Mhm.
So thank you for actually seeing that and making yourself available. I've actually never heard that, especially for a startup. um, for a startup business, that's actually very unheard of. I've been a part of a few of them myself. I'm in tech, and we can't even on an app, you're messaging someone and there's supposed to be a designated team to it, but you're
Mm,
not getting a one-on-one
yeah.
directive on what you're looking for. So but what's something, I know you've done a few e-commerce businesses, what's something people think is easy about starting a product business now that you're doing that,
Mhm.
that is not easy at all?
Ooh. Mm, everything.
Yeah.
Because starting a business, you would think, okay, as long as I have this and I have this and I have this, I'll find people to buy. I'll
Mhm.
reach the right audience. I'll do this. I'll just market. And then you pour everything and it's like, cuckoo.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing. The thing is, reaching, I feel it's particularly reaching the right people for you is
Hmm.
the hard
Yes.
part. And you can pour in money, you can do as much as you feel is enough to make a successful business. But if you are not reaching people who see you, then it would not hold up. That's why you also have businesses that start and then all of a sudden it's off the cliff. They do really well and then nothing else. They don't have people backing them as a brand, but more
Yeah.
so they just got, just like you said, people are now buying things just because they don't have any personal
Yeah.
connection with you.
Yep.
So that is
Right.
one thing people think is easy. You need to find people who actually see your story, people who actually understand the reason behind that product and
Mhm.
also relate to the reason why that product exists. So if you can find
Yeah.
people who do those three things, then you have a supportive community and you can hold that through till the end of the journey. So I would say that particularly is one of the things that people think is easy, but finding the right people, finding a good
Yeah.
balance is pretty difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Especially a new product when, like you said, there's already big name companies. So yeah, how do they even see you in
Exactly.
in that mix? Yeah.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough because you have people comparing you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I remember posting last year, I wanted to do a giveaway, right? And I thought, oh my goodness, this would be nice. Let me just give away 2 watches to people who actually need it because that's the
Yeah.
point here of affordability. And it's something that I would speak later on. One of my goals is to be able to run or give away at least a smartwatch a month or two to somebody who
Wow.
needs it, who can't even afford the price that we have right now. And so I was like, let me just start with this. Let me give away 2 smartwatches this month, right? And I came on here. I posted on Instagram, I posted on TikTok, and I began to get some comments. And I was like, oh, this is nice. It looks like I'm getting some traction. But this one comment came from a guy who said, this looks like the Apple Watch. You're using the Apple Watch and this and that, and I hope you burn in hell.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
I was
Okay.
confused because number one, I'm like, I don't understand what is going on here. My whole story is out there. The reason why I started this is out there. The pictures of my watch is out
Yeah.
there. Like the pictures are out there, and I don't see
Mhm.
where this connection comes in. Like, what was the reason for immediately comparing me to another brand? Like, I
Yeah.
understand there are other brands out there. We're all in the same space together. I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
fighting for their customers. We all have different
Mhm.
ideal audiences, right? So I understand if it's not
Mhm.
for you, but the fact that you just come on here to compare me to them and break me down was
And you didn't create either watch. It's crazy.
Right. Right.
I just did not understand. And that was the start of it was just repetitive to have people who just compare you. Oh, why don't I go? You know, you have customers who would ask you, like, why should I get yours and not theirs? I'm like, I pretty much understand that you have what you're looking for in mind. You have the features that you're seeking. And if what they have
Mhm.
is for you, then awesome. But I don't see why it has to be a competition. People have this
Yeah.
competitive mindset where they try to
Yeah.
compare you with other people for no particular reason. They just want to see if you hold up against them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you look at what I'm presenting you? Do
Absolutely.
you find that useful? If you do, then of course that's for you. If not, I just don't see the competition. So that's
Yeah.
another
Research it just like everything else. Like, did you know exactly what car you wanted to buy? Do you know what brand you wanted to go with? Do you know what shoes you wanted? Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, that's another thing out here that one struggles with. It's the competition with bigger brands because
Mhm.
people are always comparing you. Always
Yeah.
comparing you. Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of like segue just briefly. So can we talk about bootstrapping and what does that actually look like day to day?
Yee. I have been I have to start with a yee because
Yeah.
like I said, I work 3 jobs. I do this. I do the website optimization business as well, and I also tutor math on the side. And at the start of this, I had saved up a good amount of money to start Trevit, and that went by, that blew everything pretty fast, pretty
Yeah.
quickly. And so my
Yeah.
family had to support me, right? They were the ones
Mhm.
supporting me while I was running this business. And I was like, what am I going to do? Every single amount I spend goes either to my bills, and immediately after my bills are paid, everything else goes into this business because I do
Yeah.
want bills. So I had nothing. I had nothing. Many people think that, oh, because a business owner comes online and posts, that they probably have money
Yeah.
in their
Like they're already, getting
It's
revenue. Yeah.
automatically they're
my
already good.
accounts
Yeah.
are empty. Empty. So I'm
Mhm.
doing this all by myself. I don't have people, I don't have investors. I'm not even looking for investors. I do not want investors because then they
Mhm.
put a pressure on you. They're
Yeah.
also looking to get back their funds. And I don't want that kind of financial
Mhm.
pressure on me. Like I said, for me, it's the people first. Am I reaching the right people? And then if money
Mhm.
comes from that, then great. But I don't want the pressure to make money first. That is not my goal, right?
I love that.
So
Yeah.
because of that, I'm usually always in the zeros. My accounts are empty because I'm pouring back into marketing, pouring back into getting professionals who are able to help the business in one way or the other. If it's through the design or through this or through that, I'm paying it out of my own pocket. And because of that, I'm not able to practically do what any other average person would do and care for themselves in ways, take themselves out or do that. No, I'm always thinking business first. So it
Mm.
is not easy at all. It's not easy.
I
Everything
love
is mine.
that.
Yeah, customer service, customer this, whatever. It's my money that is going into it, and it's not easy.
So yeah, working 3 jobs,
Right.
insane. But that shows the true dedication that you have to your craft, in not only web design and things like that, but in this business because, like you said, you're funding it yourself. With all of that, I know how difficult it is not having that outside funding. That's something that we struggle with as well. Did you ever feel like giving up? And if so, what kept you going?
Yes, I felt like giving up multiple times. Seeing those zeros in the bank account, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't for me. And there was actually a time I broke down. I think I cried. And I was thinking, maybe I just stop this now without, I don't want that
Mhm.
sunk cost fallacy, right? I've already put in so much. Let me know. Maybe I
Yeah.
should just stop this now and cut my losses and move on because it's not doing as well as I hoped. And this was last year, earlier last year.
Oh wow.
And this was even just like months after starting. Normally when you put exactly, this is another thing that people think. They think when you start a business, it's just going to pew, it's going to do so well, and you're going to make sales. And it's not. That's just not the reality of it. If you're not putting in thousands and thousands of dollars when you're starting, there's a very good chance you are going to climb your way up very slowly.
Yeah.
So I had already exhausted everything I had in my account, and I was tired. I had no money. My family was supporting me, and then you also have the people comparing you to bigger brands and saying, you know what, I don't think you can do this. Like, why would I buy
Mm.
from you and not from them? What makes you better than them? That they have the funds to run, it's a tech product. You don't. How are we sure that yours is going to hold up and things like that? I was like, you know what, maybe they're right.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
one day I was staring at my phone, looking at the watch on my phone, a photo of the watch, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to go all in. I cannot let external influence and I cannot let the amount in my account weigh me down. And this is
Mm.
something that I had prayed about. I'm a Christian, by
Yes.
the way, so I have a very strong connection with God.
Yes.
This is something I had prayed about. And like, if I had prayed about this and I had told God this is what I wanted to do, and He has been pushing me forward, then I'm going to have to hold my ground, right?
Yes.
So whatever happens, and I find him a very big role model, Jesus, right? He had many people come against him, many people say things to him, many people do things to him, and yet he kept his eye on the goal. You
Oh,
know,
I say that all the time. Yes.
he kept his eye on the goal. His goal here is people. He wants you to be happy, no matter what you are doing to him. As long as you are happy, as long as you are comfortable. And then that clicked for me. I'm like, wait a second. If that is my goal, to make sure this is
Mhm.
affordable for people and to have them have that same smile that my mom did, because I get emails saying, oh, I bought this for my mom, she loves it, I did this, are you selling in stores? I'm like, if that is the goal, then I have to stick with it. I cannot let an empty bank account tear me down. God would provide
Yes.
somehow. Every single amount
Mhm.
I make no profit. I will tell you this. What I mean by no profit is every single amount I make, I pour it back into the business.
Refunnels. Mm.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything. So that, I think that's just what got me right up. I'm like, I've come way too far to stop this now. I had a goal in mind, and I have to see this through. And that was it. I decided to move wherever it takes me. I don't know, just keep moving.
Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I
Exactly.
must believe.
I know.
God got me. Can't give up. Yes.
Exactly.
I love
Thank you
that.
so much for not giving up. And that right there is alignment. So that is alignment. What it
Hmm.
is that you're doing for people that are coming in and are purchasing your product. So can you like briefly just walk us through like how do you find your manufacturer? Like how did you even start that process?
Mm, that's a good one. So in 2024, after I started thinking of, starting another e-commerce business, I was
Mhm.
wondering what to get into. And then the idea came up, seeing the pictures of my mom and everything, of my mom, I mean. And I started looking into it. I'm like, okay, what do I actually want in a smartwatch? What are the things that are missing? What are the essential features that are needed? So I created this spreadsheet of all the features that I wanted in a watch. And then I started looking. I wanted to have an idea of how much it would cost me to create my own smartwatch from scratch. And the moment I saw the numbers, I was like, hmm, $150,000 at least.
Right
I'm
off
like,
the bat. Yeah.
$150,000. I'm like, okay, there has to be something else because I feel I always have this would I call it that? I always have this mindset that if there is something you want to do, there's always a way. There is always a way. So the fact that I do not have $150,000 does not mean I cannot start my own smartwatch brand. What do I do then? What are my options? And so I started looking for what I could do. And then I came across a few companies that have a base model, right? That you can work with. They're like, okay, you
Mhm.
don't need to invest this amount of money. We already have a line, right? And then you can make this line yours by
Oh,
using so and so features and whatever. You don't need to go through the whole process of manufacturing from scratch the chip, the
oh, that's
case.
amazing. Okay. So like white labeling.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not exactly white labeling, since it's more of the fact that you can customize. What they
Mm.
do is they create the base, and then you
Mhm.
also get an input into the software, get an input into whatever.
Oh,
So
perfect.
yeah, so they practically create the model. They have models you can choose
Okay.
from to customize, right? And so I thought that made a lot more sense for me because I do not have $150,000 to start. One day, hopefully one day, I will get to the point where I'm able to create every single thing from scratch based on customer feedback, what they think is lacking,
Mhm.
what they think we can improve on, and then we can focus on that. But for now, why don't we work with what we have? If this is working, what is the purpose of looking for something a lot more, more expensive if we can work with what
Yeah.
we have right now? So yeah, what I started doing then was getting different samples to see what worked. Okay, what are the features of this one? How does it compare to this? And you do find a lot of very cheap, not so good options out there. And finally, I find one that ticked, when I say every single box, it ticked every box that I had on there,
Oh,
for
perfect.
essential features. And I
Mhm.
decided to work with them, and it's been pretty cool since then.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great that they have that option, but and with your background, you actually get to implement all of your own tech. So that really is your own
Mhm.
intellectual property of what goes into the watch. So you're already there for when you get those funds. So, but you found a easier route than spending all of that because yeah, most people don't realize what
Mhm.
it would take, especially for tech.
Yeah.
And so I know you've had other e-commerce businesses. I kind of want to get into logistics, so like 3PL shipping operations and
Mhm.
some of those learning curves. What's one mistake that cost you time, money, or energy?
A
That's a good.
mistake. Oh, I've made quite a number of mistakes. Let me see. Which one would I want to hop on now? I think it's not getting the details in print early on. So you
Mm,
need to know exactly what you want because obviously as a business owner you grow as you move along, you get feedback and you're able to make changes to your
yeah.
process as you go along. But you should already have a good idea down to the T what you
Mhm.
want and then you can build on that earlier. So for me, I was speaking with quite a number of 3PL companies at this time, fulfillment operation companies, and trying to get input from this one and input from that one and see what this one says and see what that one. And it was just a headache because I was doing everything by myself, right? I wish that I had made a list early on and saying, okay, this is what I want from this person. I want this, I want that, I want that, and then use that to compare instead of just speaking with different people to see what this one has over this and things like that. That would have been a lot easier for me, I would say.
So if someone else was starting with limited funds, what should they focus on first to kind of eliminate that?
You mean to eliminate the stress?
Just the kind of, because like you said, there's so many steps, and like you said, you wanted to make sure that you had everything written down, all of your directives, SOPs, whatever you needed for the business. Would you say that that was what you should have focused on first to kind of eliminate some of the headaches that came on later?
100% yes. Have an idea, but it doesn't have to be exact, right? You don't need to know every single thing right now because, like I said, you grow. But to have an idea of what it is you want out of that relationship with that company, specifically that I'm talking about. What do you want from them? How soon do you want them to get back to you when you send a message? What are the steps? If this issue comes up, how do you want to handle this issue? Things like that. You should have at least an idea first. And then it becomes easier because if you're going in and then one person says, oh, I could do this for you. You're like, okay, sure, let's go ahead. And then an issue comes up and they're like, well, we didn't talk about this. I'm not going to. Now you're in your.
You're almost starting over, yeah.
That relationship and look for somebody else who is actually going to help you and do what you need to do. So you just wasted a lot of time with one person because you thought and assumed that they would take on what you need done, right? So yes, definitely having a good idea at least and writing that down, and then moving forward after you've created, making sure the essentials are ticked off, then you can move forward.
Right, because you really can't bring anyone else in to help anyway until you have all of that. Yeah. We've been there. We've hired a couple of people to do our media management, and it's been a lot of waste of money. So now we're just like, you know what? And it's funny you said that because I actually took the last few weeks of just like, let me get everything written down on what I'm actually looking for, what our direction is, how I speak to this in whatever aspect of the business. So yeah, I love that you pointed that out. It is the plan. That is going to be the most important piece to it for sure.
Yeah.
See, and as we talk about pretty much just planning and lessons and growth, what would you actually do differently if you had to start Trevit all over again? What would that look like?
Wow. This one, I don't know if I would say I would start differently because the journey was pretty rough, but I don't think I would have it any other way. The reason I say this is because on one end, I'm like, okay, what if I had even more money than I did when I started and I was able to use that to market a lot more to reach the people who actually need the watch? Would that have made me more stable? Maybe I would have gotten a lot more back to be able to reinvest. But I'm like, not everybody has that opportunity. Like, look at me. Where would I have gotten money like that from? So I am pretty grateful that I have the opportunity to build up on my mistakes. So things that I learned along the way, I'm able to build up on that and better myself, better the business as I move forward. So there's nothing that I think I would say I wish I had changed because that is what has gotten me to where I am right now. That feedback, the troubles. That is what has brought me here right now. So
it's very important to fall in love with the journey a lot more than what you think your end result will be. But with that, when you were starting it, what does success look like for you now versus when you originally started?
when you start, even though you do have a goal in mind, every business in mind is to be successful, right? Every business starts with the goal of being successful. And I was hoping
Mhm.
that, okay, by so and so time, maybe I would have made so and so to be able to put back in this, and then we can do this and do that and get more feedback. And things just don't go that way, right? So for me, in that time when I first started, I had two goals. Number one, to reach my ideal audience, to reach people who actually need an affordable smartwatch, and to also be financially stable enough to pour back into my business. And one without the other is pretty rough, right?
Yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
sales but you're not actually reaching your people because they're not connecting, or if you do reach the right audience but you're not making sales, it's a weird balance. So
Mhm.
I was really troubled about the fact that I didn't have enough to pour back into the business at the start. But now for me, I am not so much as interested in the, like, I was never really interested in the money to begin with. I just wanted to have enough to pour back. But now it's like, as long as I reach one person, I'm good. I am good
Wow.
because I have amazing motorcycle there. Um,
I'm like, damn it.
outside, amazing motorcycle there. So as long as I reach one person who is happy to get that watch, an affordable option, and something that they will actually use, I am good. Ordinarily seeing one message, I get emails from customers saying that they love the watch, they bought it for this person, they bought it for that person, they use it this way, they use it that way. And just seeing that message just reminds me of my mom. I can imagine if my mom sent that message to somebody saying, like my uncle who got her the watch, you can see how happy she. I'm like, you know what? Maybe the money doesn't really matter. I like this. It's I'm good. So
Yeah.
now for me, success is the happiness of my customers. I have that first in mind. And if funds come back from that, great. I'm not naive. I know you do need money to run a business and that you
Yeah.
still need to be successful enough to put back into that business. And that is something that I feel will come after you have your priorities straight. So
Yep.
focus on the people first, and then the funds will come. The funds would follow. So customer service for me is number one. Make sure they are happy. Make sure you're reaching the right people, the right audience, and that
Mhm.
would come with success financially. So
Yes, for sure. I love that your dedication to the obedience to the calling that God put on your life, and you make that the focal point. And like I said, I believe it too. As soon as you continue to follow it, doesn't matter what it looks like at this time. You know that God has already put a blessing on it. You know that this is the end result, and that's what He showed you. He showed you the smiling faces. He showed you your mom. So I love that you have that focal point, and please keep it because this is amazing. There's not enough of us in the space that look like us, especially in tech products.
mhm.
So the fact that you keep it going and you're making sure that the sustainability is something that is there, I know you're going to make it. And we would love to be a part of helping that, one watch a month. We will definitely post and make sure that that happens because we want to make sure that this is something that's a success as well.
Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much for that. I
Right.
appreciate that support.
We just want to see everyone win. We do. And we mean that. We want to see everyone win.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the segment of our podcast what we will call a it is the quick fire round. So pretty much the way that
Whoa.
this works is the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you these questions.
Okay.
Manufacturer or marketing?
Manufacturer.
Okay. Risk or stability?
Mm.
Risk.
Okay. All risk. Profit or passion?
Passion.
I figured. Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights. Early morning. No.
No, I'm an early morning.
Everybody has their own routine, but mornings I'm like, I hear I just have some peace. I'm a night owl
Yeah.
right here.
Okay. One word to describe your journey.
A word. Well, I have so many flying through my head right now. Um, dedication.
I love that.
I
And since
agree.
you had so many words
Mhm.
flying in your head, I want to
Yes.
ask you another big one then. If you could title the memoir of your life so far, what would it be and why?
Ooh, again, I think it would just be dedication. Why? Because it's every single day you find a reason to want to stop.
Mm,
You always come across things that want to pull you off your journey. And when I say
Mm,
pull you off, not specifically derail you, but you also have
mhm,
other actual reasons to stop. So for me, it's the journey of staying on course despite those
mm,
issues. And I would give an example. Number one, like I said, the finances. We're not a
mhm,
big company. We're not making so much money. I could be doing a lot better in giving even back to my family to making sure that we are stable as a family. But instead,
mhm,
I'm putting the money in this.
mm,
That is a very viable reason to focus on them first, make sure my family is stable. So that is an option. Do I pour into my business or do I put the money towards family first? That is one good reason to stop. Um,
mhm,
Knowing that bigger companies also have the opportunity to tune their product exactly to the feedback of
mm,
customers. I am still growing there. Giving them that space is also an opportunity, is also a reason, to maybe have them take that space. But I
mhm,
also know that I am reaching people who are looking for smaller businesses to take care of them. You weigh
yeah.
the balances. That's another thing. The bad responses and the what's the word now? Hmm. It's so
It's
funny.
coming.
Oh, no, not even the word. I'm just laughing because I'm just remembering a lot of the things that people have said to me this whole time, and it's pretty hurtful. The words that people use, the
Mhm,
choices of their words sometimes can
mhm,
be really depressing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
also wanting to focus on your mental health and saying, is this really worth it? Being
Yes.
attacked in this way is another option. So I would say dedication because regardless of the options, regardless of the path that you take, you have to just keep moving. And that has
Yeah.
practically been my whole life. It's picking one over the other, picking one over the. I may have to pick one, but I still have to stay on course and make sure that it is pushing me towards my goal. So,
mhm,
regardless of the things that I have been through and I am still going through, the choice to still stay on track itself is dedication. And I think that's
Yes.
the title that my memoir.
Yes,
that's
ma'am. You've
perfect.
definitely proven
Yes.
that because the things that you get done in one day is insane. So thank you for that dedication. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for definitely walking through your process, but also just being transparent about what it really takes to build something from the ground up. And I just want you to know that you have such an anointing on your purpose and
Yes,
on your project that you're creating for others, and it will come back to you tenfold. It truly will. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
of course. And please, I'm sure if you would let everyone know where they can find you and support Trevit. We want to make sure that we are getting those orders in and continuing to build this business. So, how can everyone reach you and how do we purchase?
Of course. So you can find Trevit on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, we're on TikTok as well. But I would say the main accounts we post on all of them. So Trevit Tribe, so TrevitRibe. Just Trevit Tribe is our username on all platforms. And our
Mhm.
website is trevit.store. So you can make an order, place your order on trevit.store. And yeah, Trevit Tribe on all social media platforms or Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Well, thank you so much for that. And to our great audience, thank you so much for always supporting us. And if this episode inspired you, make sure you like, you comment, and you share, but also be sure that you check out Sherry and her website.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Trevit.store. And of course, everyone will see you next time on Sister Soul Sessions. Chérie, if you'd like to just give an outro again, and like we want to thank you, but if there's anything that you want to say to end the show, we'd be welcome to have you say that.
Of course. So I really do appreciate the opportunity to be here. And to everybody listening, if there is anything that you have in mind that you want to do, regardless of what people tell you, regardless of the struggles that you're going through, just start. Start and take it one step at a time. So do one thing, figure that out, do another, figure that out. Don't try to figure everything out at once, or else you're going to get very overwhelmed and you would end up stopping yourself. So thank you again for listening, and please follow Sister Soul Sessions. I'm really glad
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope everybody has an amazing, wonderful, and God blessed day.
Yes, thank you so much.
So
You guys have a
much.
wonderful evening.